All right, today we're going to do something really important. We're cracking the code on chemical safety. Every hazardous substance in your workplace, it's actually speaking a universal language. It's all designed to keep you safe. So stick with me, and I promise you'll learn how to speak it fluently. So you might not think of yourself as someone who works with hazardous chemicals, right? But take a closer look. Whether you're just filling up your car with gas, using some basic liquid cleaners at work, or topping off the antifreeze, you're interacting with them every single day. And the risks, well, they're real. That's why understanding their language is absolutely crucial. See, every single one of those containers is trying to tell you something. It's basically communicating its secrets through this special code of words, colors, and symbols. So the big question is, can you actually understand what it's trying to say? And here's the really cool part. This isn't just some random collection of symbols somebody made up. Oh no, there's a brilliant system behind it all. And it makes sure that no matter where you are in the world, the language of danger is exactly the same. So what is it? Well, it's called the Globally Harmonized System, or GHS for short. The best way to think of it is like the International Rulebook for Chemical Safety. It standardizes everything, how hazards are defined, how they're communicated, so that a chemical label in one country means the exact same thing in another. It creates this one, truly universal code for all of us.
Okay, so where do you even start decoding this stuff? Well, your first, most immediate clue is right there on the container, the chemical label. Think of this as your quick glance summary, basically a cheat sheet for all the most important info.
And the very first clue is super simple but really powerful. You're just going to look for one of two signal words, danger or warning. This is your first quick hint about the risk level. If you see danger, that means it's a more severe hazard. If you see warning, it's a less severe hazard, but hey, it's still an important one to pay attention to. Now, the most eye-catching parts of any label are going to be the pictograms. Those red bordered diamonds. It's best to think of them as the alphabet of our chemical safety language. Each and every symbol tells a really specific story about the kind of danger you might be facing. All right, let's kick things off with physical hazards. First up, the flame pictogram. This one's pretty straightforward, right? It signals a fire risk. That means the substance could be flammable, it could be self-heating, or it might even emit flammable gas if it touches water. Okay, moving on to these serious health hazards. You've got the classic skull and crossbones. This one signals what's called acute toxicity. What does that mean? It means even a single short exposure could be severely toxic or even fatal. When you see this symbol, it demands your full and immediate attention. No exceptions. Next, be on the lookout for the corrosion pictogram. This one warns you about substances that can cause immediate, visible damage. We're talking literally eating away at materials, causing severe skin burns and serious eye damage, or even destroying metals. Then there's the health hazard symbol. It's the one that kind of looks like a person with a starburst on their chest. This one is all about longer-term chronic issues. So this substance could be a carcinogen, a mutagen, or something that causes reproductive or organ damage over a long period of time. And last but not least, the exclamation mark. You can just think of this one as a general alert for less severe but still important hazards. It might be an irritant to your skin or eyes, or maybe it could cause dizziness. It's just a clear heads up to be careful. So the label gives you the headlines, right? The quick summary. But what if you need more? What if you need to know exactly how to handle a spill or what to do in a medical emergency? For that, we need to turn to the ultimate safety manual. See, every single hazardous chemical comes with something called a safety data sheet, or SDS. This is the master document. It's the super in-depth instruction manual that tells you literally everything you could possibly need to know about a substance. And here's a key number to remember, 16. That's because a huge feature of the GHS system is standardization. Every single SDS for every chemical everywhere in the world has exactly 16 sections. That consistency is amazing because it means you always know exactly where to look to find the information you need and find it fast. Now, navigating those 16 sections is actually pretty simple when you break them down into chunks. Let's start with the first three. These sections answer the most basic question: what is this stuff? This is where you'll find the product name, a quick summary of its hazards, and exactly what its ingredients are. Next up are your how-to instructions. Sections 7 and 8 are all about the practical stuff for daily use, how to handle and store the chemicals safely, and maybe most importantly, exactly what personal protective equipment, or PPE, you need to wear.
And then you have the crucial what-if sections. Sections 4 through 6 are your emergency action plan, for when things go wrong. What if you get exposed? Section 4 covers first aid. What if there's a fire? You'll check Section 5. And what about a spill? Section 6 lays out all the cleanup procedures.
So now you've basically got the decoder ring. But what does that really mean for you? Well, this whole system, it's not passive. It requires you to be an active participant. You have to be the code breaker.
Your responsibilities are actually pretty simple, but they're absolutely non-negotiable. So number 1, always read the labels and the SDSs before you even start. 2, follow every single instruction and warning. 3, proactively identify the hazards around you. And 4, participate in all your safety training. That's it. That's how you put all this knowledge into action.
But let's be realistic. What happens when a hazard just can't be engineered away? What's your final line of defense? Well, that's where this next part comes in. We're talking about personal protective equipment, or PPE. Think of this as your personal armor. And remember, the SDS, specifically Section 8, will tell you exactly what you need. It could be eye and face protection, specific kinds of gloves, a bodysuit, or even respiratory protection. And listen, this isn't a suggestion. It's an absolute requirement for your safety. So there you have it. You now have the tools. You can read the labels, you can understand the symbols, and you can navigate the SDS. You can officially speak the language of chemical safety. So here's the real question I have for you. When you walk into work tomorrow, what are you going to look for? What pictograms will you spot? What signal words are you going to pay attention to now? Because the code, it's all around you, and now you can finally read it.